Welcome to Christy's Stampin' Spot. So I have a really cute Thinking of You in the Pines bundle card on. It's up on my website and in my blog today, and we are going to make that card now. All right, so let me go ahead and switch you guys down. Get rid of that. Yay! There we go. Now I can kind of see what's going on. Muy bien! Oh, so this is the card that we're making today. Isn't that pretty? You guys see all the detail? I really love this. This is the Evergreen. We're going to use the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder today. And I'm using the Thick Whisper White, which is pretty awesome. And and then we're going to use some of the tags. I love these punches. This is the Label Me Fancy and the Label Me Lovely, as well as the In the Pines. So we're going to use the double images and the framelits. So I'm going to actually get out my cut emboss machine and show you guys how to use that. Love, love, love. So let's get started. So if you want to follow along on my blog, you can find all of the instructions and the measurements. There's two different options. It's at the very bottom of my blog. You can find it with the pictures or without the pictures. So you can pull them up and you can download them or print them out. So hopefully that'll help. So like I said, I'm using the Thick Whisper White, and it comes in our 8.5 by 11, and I of course just cut it at the 4 1/4 by and it's 11, and scored at 5 1/2. And you can really tell that thick. I love that Thick Whisper White, and it really does help to use your scorer on your trimmer when you're using the thick cardstock, because it is a little bit harder to bend against the crease. And so we're also going to use a piece of the Pretty Peacock, which I absolutely love the Pretty Peacock, especially with these trees. So we're going to use a panel of the Pretty Peacock that is 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And then the piece of Thick Whisper White that we're going to run through our Evergreen Forest is 5 1/8 by 3 7/8. So that's that. And then we're going to use some scrap where we're going to actually stamp the trees and then cut them out. So awesome sauce. Okay, so let's get started. Let's first let's stamp, and then we can do all of our embossing at the same and die cutting at the same time. So I love, love, love the let's put this away so I can get my stuff a little bit out of the way. I really love this bundle. It is so gorgeous. It's a great versatile bundle. If you want to make Christmas cards, or they make really nice Thinking of You. It does have a Thinking of You and a Season's Greetings. But these make great masculine cards or any time of cards for any reason, because they are so versatile. It's so lovely. The trees are so fabulous. And then in the Pine Woods is the die set, and they have a couple of different things like we've done before. They have the one that will actually cut out the tree so that you can like put the pretty foil behind it. It has a couple of these. These are for the ground if you want to make mountains or snow drifts. It's really pretty. And then we have the images. These images right here. These are going to cut out. We're going to actually use this one right here. It's going to cut out our trees. And then these two cut out other trees, which I've used on other projects. This is the big one that cut them out. So it's a very fabulous set. You can do all kinds of things with this In the Pines bundle. And one of the things I really like about this bundle is that it is two-step. So I'm actually gonna use the Thick Whisper White as well. Ooh, and you know what? I forgot my Pretty Peacock ink. Let me go over to my. Oh, it's over here. I put it away in my ink colors. So this is the Pretty Peacock is our ink color from last year. So it's last year. It's last catalog for this one. I love Pretty Peacock. It's one of my favorite colors. Love, love, love. Okay, get back, sit down. All right, so we're gonna use that, and then we need 2 blocks. Thought I had both of the big blocks out. Do 2. Okay, so we're going to use the biggest of the trees. So they come with two different, right? This is the outline stamp, and then this is like the fill, like the watercolor fill. We're actually going to do both, but we're going to stamp this one first, and then we're going to stamp that one second, and the watercolor fill we're going to actually second generation stamp, which means I'm going to stamp off to do that. So let's go ahead and get this down first. So I'm not going to do them super close together because I'm going to cut them out with the our die cuts. Oops. So as you can tell, look, I didn't get, with this bigger stamps, I didn't get the ink all the way. So I'm just going to flip it over, but I need to use my paper piercing mat. So you can get these mats. They're not in the catalog, but they are in our online store. And I know I have it in the directions. So in the supply list, you can find it. Usually I have it in there in the supply list for your any of your photopolymer. It's good to use your mat, especially if you're having trouble getting all of your stamp to stamp. Let me go ahead and stamp this again. There we go. Now, if I was going to use the blends, when you use the blends, you don't want to stamp on both sides of your cardstock. But when you're not going to use the blends, it's perfectly fine to use both sides of your cardstock if you mess up. When you do the blends, though, it bleeds through, and that image on the other side will bleed through. So that's why when you're using the blends, you don't want to. But if you want to get a really fabulous impression, especially if you're having trouble, using your mat really helps. And so this one I've actually cut in half so that it fits better on my desk, because I always have everything like almost half the size. But let me see if I reach behind me, I can get the full size. It's quite big. Here's the big one. You can see it. And I've just wrapped it with a piece of our grid paper because I like to stamp off. Okay, so now I'm going to, let's remove this one. This is our outline stamp. And then we're going to use, this is our pretty watercolor stamp. Uh-oh. And I'm going to stamp it off. So that's the second generation. And it's going to stamp it right in here. So pretty. It's so pretty. I really love these. Oops. Look at that. I didn't get it all the way. Let me see if I can do it without having to restamp it. Really. There we go. Make sure you actually get it on there. Muy bien. Okay, awesome. All right. So then I'm going to clean my stamp off. Okay. I need to clean that block. That's something that's on my list, is to get my blocks clean. Let me put that away. Okay, so now we're going to get out our embossing machine. So I love our new stamp cut and emboss machine. And we're going to use, for the stamping, or for the cutting up the stamp images, I'm going to use my magnetic plate. First, let's do the dry emboss. So when we talk about dry embossing, that's when we use our embossing folders. So with the embossing folders, you don't need anything inside your machine and your plates and your folder. Now you can, of course, always put ink in your folder. There's like all kinds of fancy things that you can do. But it does have your fabulous directions are actually on the plate for the new for our new machine. And so for the 3D embossing, all you need is the 1 and the 4. And the 4 is the gray, or gray embossing. It used to be that light blue, but now it's the gray, the number 4. So you just need your platform and your gray, and then of course your piece of cardstock and your forest. Now this is a 6 by 6, so it's one of our larger ones. Okay, so we want to make sure that you're not putting make sure you put your cardstock in the right way. So we're going vertical, so I want to make sure that I put it in so that the trees are going the right direction. And you can see on there, because of how it is, can you guys see that? You can see where exactly the forest will be on your card. So if you want it a little bit less of the trees or more of the trees, then you can see. Okay, and then you just put it in with your number 4 plate. And like I said, this is the same plate size as the blue 3D embossing plate that we had with the Big Shot. So the number 4 will work too with the Big Shot, which is pretty awesome. So you can still utilize our 3D. Not pretty. And you can order the separate at a specialty plate. So that's gorgeous. Oh, love it, love, love it. Okay. So that is our the Evergreen Forest 3D embossing folder. Okay, and then we want to cut out our images. So when you cut out our images, you can see with the dies, you need to use 1 and 2, which is the platform, and you need your little die adapter, the skinny one, this one right here. And then you need, you're going to use a cutting plate, or you're going to use your mat. Now I'm going to go ahead and use my magnetic. This is my magnetic, and you can tell it's starting to bow a little bit. I've used it so very much. It's a self-healing mat. The magnetic plate, cutting plate, because you're actually going to cut directly onto this. So it's very similar to the precision plate that we had before with our Big Shot. And then I'm going to put my paper here, and then I need to get my dies out. Okay. And so I love the magnetic plate. I mean, you probably don't need it might not need it for this one, but I find that I need them. I really like using to get my die to stay put and it'd be exactly where I want it to be. I really like the using my magnetic plate. So I just put the cutting plate on top and run it through. My paper up. Oops. My one tree. Make sure you get your plates realigned if you're going to take it apart. I did. Do the other tree. Go. Oops, I think I got it on there just a little crooked. I want to make sure I get this on there right. Now, if you get it crooked and you get too much white, I will show you how you can just trim it up with your paper snips, which is pretty easy. There's too much white for you. Okay, just do. Nice. It's a little hard when I want to stand up. Every time I stand up, my chair scoots and it makes such a loud noise. It's very annoying. I'm trying not to. Trees, he's so pretty. And then we'll do the last one. Plate on. Run it through. And, oops. And there we go. Very nice. Okay, so now I can put this stuff away. And what's cool is it closes up. Isn't that pretty? She's so pretty. Love, love, love. Cannot wait till we get the new mini one too. That's going to be awesome. So, but just when you're using the magnetic plate, know that it is doesn't last forever. That you will eventually, it is a consumable, just like your plates. I don't have my really icky one out, but you cut up your plates pretty good too. So those ones, they don't have to be replaced, depending on how much you cut. Really depend on how much you plate. And again, when you're to help your magnetic plate last longer, make sure you store it flat, and also you want to move it around your die so that you don't actually cut in the same exact place every time. So that'll also help you prolong your usage with your magnetic cutting plate. So that's pretty nice. All right, so let's set that aside. We don't need those anymore. Okay, so we've got our pretty embossed piece of thick Whisper White with evergreen. We've got our Whisper White cardstock card base. We've got our 3 trees. And now we just need our, I have 2 of those. We need to make our tag, our front label. Okay, so what we're going to do first is this is our Label Me Lovely punch, which is pretty awesome. I love how these are fabulous for punches, and they layer very nice. I've done one here in the vellum, which is pretty awesome. And then we're going to use our Label Me Fancy, and it is super fancy because it also has a hole punch, and then this is like the ribbon. You can thread your ribbon through as well. So those 2 are also on this punch. We just need our tag. There we go. And then we need our little block. We're going to do our Thinking of You. And it's really lovely. It has a seasonings, greetings, and a Thinking of You. We'll go ahead and use our Thinking of You. Put that on our block. Super nice. Again, get out my pretty peacock. Nice and inked up. And this is kind of a, let me move, my hair is still a little damp. And get my glasses. They're a little bit damp. Okay. I need my glasses for this. So it is a little tight on the corners here. So you want to make sure you line it up. Now you can, of course, stamp it first and then punch it out. But I just punched it out. It seems easy. Looks beautiful. Fabulous, fabulous. Okay. All right. And then we're going to use Stampin' Dimensionals. And you put it on our our vellum Label Me Lovely vellum sentiment layer here, label layer. See, it layers very nice right here in the center. Sweet. Okay, and then I need to put some on here. Let me cut my. I will cut my edges. You should always use your edges. Okay, and now I didn't pull this off because I'm going to glue all the stuff down and then add that to the ends. Okay. All right. So now let's build it. So this is our Whisper White. So I'm going to actually stamp on the inside of this before I label it in case I mess up. Then you've only messed up one thing and not a ton, right? So I'm going to use the medium-sized there's a medium-sized tree. So we're going to use this medium-sized tree right here to do on the inside, as well as the Thinking of You in the pretty peacock. Oops, moved it. see if I got that on straight. I'm checking it. Sure. Oop, that's pretty. Okay. Awesome sauce. Okay. So I'm going to stamp it here in the top. And then I'm going to turn it over. Stamp it on the back. Just like that. And then I'm going to stamp this is the edge, or the outline. Just put that here in the middle. Like that. Put it on the side on this one. Awesome. Now there's also the 3 little ones you can use. 2. I just chose the medium one for this one. Got that nice and clean. Okay, and then again, let's see. This one works pretty good. Okay. I almost re-stamped it. I wanted it stamped off. Go. And then of course I can also, before I put this away, I guess I can do our envelope. So that's one of the cool things about our fabulous envelopes. They are so nice that you can make a matching envelope. So I will do the same thing. I will use the medium size. Thinking of you right there. There we go. So now I have a matching envelope. Very nice. Okay, now I think we're done with the stamping. So if I had messed that up, I just had to start over with the making another card base. And I hadn't wasted all of my other stuff before I glue it in. Right? Okay. So now, make sure you get it on the front. Then we're going to glue our piece of, so let's do it this way. I'm going to glue my Whisper White that has been embossed down first. Get some glue. So it's October 1st. I cannot believe it's already October 1st. So it is the new Stampin' Up! Year. We start our new year in October. And then what's super cool is we have a fabulous DSP sale. So we have a huge selection of our DSP that is on sale at 15% off. Oh no! Look at that. I had somehow had Pretty Peacock on my finger, and I just got it onto my Whisper White cardstock. Okay, well, let's see if I can fix it. So I have the little sand eraser here. I have a little piece that's right here. Inky fingers. That's why I usually try to really very careful to make sure, especially when you're using Whisper White. I don't know if I'm going to get it off. Let's see. I might be able to get it with the sand. That's fabulous. Especially since I'm using the thick Whisper White. I might have to cover it up. The smudge. Oh, it's coming. Slowly but surely, it's coming. So you can get these on Amazon or at Michael's. The Mono Sand Eraser, which is what I'm using right here, to get my little smudge off. Oh, just have to be careful you don't rip your paper. There we go. So now you can't really see that smudge. Thank goodness, right? I don't know what I put my hand in, but I got that in there. Okay, and then we need to glue this down. Add some glue. So if I wasn't able to get that smudge off, I could, of course, always move my things around so that it covered it this way, because I hadn't already glued these down. So I could have, moved my trees this way and then put it on this side to cover that up. So no one knows what it's supposed to look like, so you could always cover those up if you feel like you've made a mess, you can't get it off. Got glue now on stuff. So, and then this is the glue eraser. Again, Amazon, Michaels. We used to sell them. This one actually is one that Stampin' Up! Used to sell a long time ago. I love it. I am very messy with the glue. Okay. So, then, here is how I did mine. So I can see what I did. Okay. So, if you look at this one, so these ones turned out really good. They're pretty close to the edges. But this one has a little bit too much white on the side that I don't like. So I'm going to take my paper snips and I'm just going to fussy cut it. Now you don't really need to because it's not that bad. But if it bothers you, cut it off. Right? Your trees don't have to be exactly the same. If it's too much white, go ahead and cut it off. So I did that. I didn't like how much white was on here. Go, just like that. And I can put that in the back. Make sure I get all this out of the way. There we go. On my space. Okay, so here's my example. I can see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to put one down first. So put the glue. And I just layered these on top of each other. I did not use Stampin' Dimensionals. So, I think this is the one I did. The first one is kind of in the middle. And then this one's a little bit higher, but on top, and then the other one's on top of that. So I just add some glue. That. And just like that. So pretty. Oh my gosh, I love these. And then we can just take our little fabulous label, punch label, put it right here. And then we want to take some of this pretty, it is the white crinkle seam binding ribbon. I love this ribbon. So soft and crinkly. And then tie a small bow. This pretty ribbon. I dropped it. Do-do-do. Keep dropping it. There we go. How you like it? Super fun. Cut my scissors. Okay, then you can look and see how much on there. So see how I cut that one like that? You just fold your ribbon. I did the wrong way. It's this way. There we go. I did it backwards. There we go. Put that out of the way, and then use some glue dots to attach it to our. I start my glue dots. I put this on earlier. Here we go. Where does it start? Here it is. So I usually use 2 glue dots. Just, it's funny as I moved it with my finger. So when you have gluey fingers, I totally undid it. All right, so let me move this glue dot off. See if I can retie it and save these ends. It's harder with gluing fingers. I might just have to do it again. Let's see. Oh yeah, no, I got it wrong. Ugh. So hopefully you guys are having a much better Thursday. I'm having like a series of mistakes, but it's cool. It's fine. It's fine. Those are little, sometimes can be a little cranky, right? Okay, well, I don't like that. Now that I've played with it too much, I've really made it harder, so I took away that edge. All right, and then where's the glue dot again? Let's see if I can get it done the same time this time. Okay. Ah, perfect! Yay! Finally. There you go. What do you guys think? Isn't that pretty? It's simple, even with the mistakes that I was making. It turned out pretty awesome. I love these thinking of yous. This is such a really great set to make some really pretty. This would make a lovely birthday card too that you could send. That's quite lovely. Love, love, love. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's card. And like I said, you can find the instructions for this card up on my blog.